Great. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited that you're joining us today. We're really excited to take you through all the tips and tricks for how you can manage on One Degree, save you time, help you stay organized, etc. My name is Enisha, and I'm the marketing manager here at One Degree. And we're also joined by Cecilia, who is our community navigator out in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone.
So we'll both be sharing with you today and answering all your questions live, as well as the questions that you sent in. Thank you so much for taking the time to send in your questions and your inquiries, and we are happy to assist you on your One Degree journey. So I see that we have some established partners on the line also. Shout out to our partners. Thanks so much for joining us, and we're going to jump right into it. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions while we are managing the webinar, you can ask it in the Q&A section. If you'd like to comment or if you'd like to jump in, just use the raise hand feature on the bottom of your, you should see that on the bottom of your screen in Zoom, and then we can unmute you so that you can ask your question or share your comment. So many of you should have received our e-guide. So that is a modular training e-guide that will help you navigate everything from setting up and connecting your account with your organization to how to find and share resources. So really that is a support for this webinar as well. We'll be sending it out again after the webinar, and you can reference it in addition to what we go over today. It's a way for you to go and review how you can navigate One Degree at your own pace and schedule. And we update it often. We're going to update it often to make sure that whenever we make changes to our site, you'll be the first to know for how to navigate and how to find what you need. All right. So we'll also be asking you about your next steps and about how navigating the platform has been for you. And helping you with any roadblocks that you may have been experiencing. So again, thank you for joining us. And I want to start out with a success story. Let's see, we had a pro member who'd like to share a success story from her time in using One Degree. Is Miriam on the line? Looks like our sharer isn't here yet, but when she pops in, we will move to her so she can share her experience in using One Degree. Does anyone else want to share a success story in using One Degree or how the experience has been for them? If so, you can just raise your hand. No? Okay. Well, let's get started. Cecilia is going to go over the first part, and then I'm going to jump in and take you through the other half.
Okay, so let me just share my screen with everyone. All right, so can everyone see the home page for the One Degree? Okay, great. So this is a new feature that we just became published. This is the logged out feature for One Degree. Let's see here. Excuse me for that. Okay. So what you'll be able to see and browse, the new homepage allows the first-time viewers and people who are logged out of their accounts to navigate this new page. And this change has been inspired by people who have done interviews, prototype sessions, and a lot of feedback to our support team. So again, thank you for those types of feedback that we're receiving. And we had a couple of questions of individuals wanting to know how to connect your pro account with your organization. So let me show you that quick process. So you can either sign up or log in. To sign up, it's really easy. Your email, cell phone number, Facebook or Google login, and then to create a password.
I'll just do it. She's like trying to unmute.
Oh, I think we're getting a lot of feedback. Okay, so you just also want to just make sure that when you create your account that you click on the tab here that you work at a nonprofit or a government agency. If you already have an account, you just simply log in. Let me just do that. Okay, so this is the view, and one of the things you want to make sure when you create your pro account is that you have your clients folder and that you can link yourself to your organization. During the registration process, you'll be prompted to connect with your account. And under my settings, you can always make sure and check that your pro membership is accurate here. So on the right top corner, once I logged in, let it just load for a bit. Okay, so here you'll be able to see that you do work at a nonprofit organization, and then to connect to your pertaining organization, you want to click on the furthest right tab here. Give it a few seconds. And then here you'll be able to type in your organization. So any organization that you work for, you can type in here. So if you work at Altamed, you can see if it already exists, your account. And if you have an organization that does not exist, there'll be another area here where you can add the organization. And then Anisha will be going over that process later on. But this is one of the ways to connect your organization. And to make sure that you are connected, the best way to check that is by clicking on the left panel here. You'll see a little icon with your organization name. My organization is 1 Degree. So you can click that, and you'll be able to note that on your organization's page, it says right here on the top corner that you are affiliated. So this is just another way, a quick tip, just to make sure that you are connected to your organization's 1 Degree page. Okay, so and if you have any issues connecting yourself, please always use our Ask Us or Preguntanos right tab corner here. You can always send us a message. It's a live chat Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30, intermittently between 1:30 and 6 p.m. And we always respond back in 1 business day. So if you have any issues, just send us a question, but this is the easy process on how to connect your account to your organization. Are there any questions regarding this? Again, raise a hand or the chat feature. Or a Q&A. Are there any questions regarding this? Nope. Anisha, do we have any questions?
So we did have a question regarding connecting. We did have a question regarding connecting the account that someone sent in earlier, and it was asking about if when you're collecting your account, when you're connecting your account, if you can share it with other clinics as a resource.
Sure. So when you connect your account, if it's the first time that the organization is on One Degree, you'll be prompted to create one. If that organization doesn't exist, you'll be prompted to create it through this process. So you can add a new organization, and you'll be showing that in the Adding Resources tool. And that would be the best way. So I know that that topic will be answered in the following question, the following presentation.
Great, thank you, Cecilia. So once you have, everyone has an account, and once you have connected your account to your organization, you're going to benefit directly from One Degree by easily finding and sharing resources. So I know that is the meat of what you guys want to hear about here on One Degree Live. So Cecilia's going to go over some really easy ways where you can search for resources, filter them based on specifically who your community members are, who you're looking for, and then how to share them directly in a multitude of different ways, depending on if your client does better with social media like Facebook, text message, or email. So next we're going to go over how to find resources, filter, and send referrals.
Yep. So a bulk of your time might be involving, searching for resources and clients. So I'm going to show you the different ways that we've created the tools on One Degree to help you find and navigate the resources. So this is, again, the home page. And on the home page, you'll be able to see 9 categories, and these where you'll be able to find over our 6,000 resources that we have listed. These are the icons, and you'll see them throughout the presentation, where you'll see the different referrals and opportunities. You can type for a resource that you might be looking for. On the left panel here, you'll be able to browse resources as well and see different categories. So if we look under housing, you'll be able to see many different categories under housing. Under legal, you'll see another myriad of resources. There's different ways to do it, but let's start with one of the easiest ways, especially if you're just beginning to navigate the platform, here on the left panel, called the new search. So I'm going to click that. And this is a great way to look for resources, and it'll prompt you through questions to find the need that you might have. So we have different icons, as I mentioned, for each category. And let's look under housing. That was one of the questions that was requested of us. So let's do an example of this one. So there's supportive housing, temporary housing, homeless support. There's a lot of different areas here, but let's look under supportive housing. And then permanent supportive housing. And then we'll find a list of opportunities and resources of permanent housing support near Los Angeles. Now you can filter the results here. We always focus on the opportunities first because we're action focused. So we want to make sure that the individual who's looking for resources can specifically get that information. So it's a better way to connect individuals. We feel it's a better way to connect individuals with these communities' resources. So first, it's the opportunity. And if you'd like to see which organizations exist on our site regarding permanent supportive housing, you can click on the Organizations tab here. And these are the icons for organizations separate from the resources. So a quick way to help manage all the resources that you'll find is to use our filters. You can filter by the address or city or zip code of a client that you might have. So you can change that resource and it'll be updated to reflect that. You can also change the results by clicking on these filters here on the right panel, by when something's open, different languages in the sense of resources that are provided to clients who might speak Armenian, who might speak German, Tagalog. You can also filter by the counties, the communities, different communities, and the gender. So there was a lot of questions regarding resources for immigrants, resources for formerly incarcerated individuals. So by filtering the results by communities is a great way to do that. So here are different communities, as you can see here. Okay. So let me click on formerly incarcerated. Oh. Formerly incarcerated individuals. And let me filter my searches through that. So here on the top, you'll be able to see different filters. So if I decide to filter by different regions, languages, they'll all appear here at the top. And if I need to adjust it, I can either click on them individually or clear them all. Okay. So once I click that, I can look at opportunities that are listed for permanent supportive housing for formerly incarcerated individuals. And I can look down the list and I can see get reentry services for formerly incarcerated individuals. I can click on that. And then here, I'll be presented with the opportunity page from Volunteers of America, LA, and a very clear information of what the resource provides, who it's for. So this is for individuals who are homeless. If the resource is free, for which city residents, for which communities, which I had clicked earlier for formerly incarcerated individuals, other available languages that this resource can be provided to, and a very clear what to do next. So this helps the client and myself know that these are the next steps to provide these resources for the client. So that is the process on how to filter and search results. A quick tip that I would note is to always, you can always also verify when the resources were last updated if you hover over the verified information on the opportunities page. So you can see that this information was last updated October 8th, 2018. So we, on One Degree, we verify the resources every year and 6 months for resources that are being used most frequently by the community. And then individuals are able to leave reviews, notes, and then here's more general information regarding the organization Volunteers for America of America, LA.
So for those of you inquiring about can One Degree be a one-stop shop for finding resources, the answer is absolutely yes. One Degree is a one-stop shop for finding resources all across the Bay Area and Los Angeles, everything ranging from housing to healthcare, transportation, and as you see, I just Cecilia's shown you, filtered by community. So that means you can really drill down based on who you're serving and find them resources that are pertinent to their specific needs and their specific background. So if you're new to this resource, I would encourage you to try out those filters because you can really better serve your community by filtering for specific communities, filtering for specific background demographics that will be really catered to who you're serving. And Cecilia, we had a raised hand, so we have a question coming up. Let's see if I can have Nicole clarify her, ask her question. Nicole, you're unmuted. Would you like to share your question?
So I think Nicole had, Nicole?
Oh, she doesn't have
they don't have a mic. Okay.
So I'll share her question with everyone. Her question is, are there ways that you can attach the resources or do you have to put them all in manually?
So I think for this one, she's asking the resource, editing resource tool when you add resources. So in the what to do next area, Anisha will go over that, but there's a way for you to when you're adding a resource to add an email first for an individual if they need to be contacted, forms like PDFs that need to be filled out before obtaining a resource, or more specific directions. So I know Anisha will be going over that during her segment, but there is a way to be able to add PDFs or more additional information that might be needed onto One Degree. And if you would like to add more resources, we have the guide, the e-guide to support you how to add more resources on the One Degree platform. And our staff always reviews the information. It takes us between 1 to 3 business days to verify the information and make sure it's accurate.
Thanks, Cecilia. And we also have a question from Shawnee's. How can you get a pro account with individuals who are with different organizations, for instance, coalitions? So Shawnee's, if you have each individual can create an account and connect it with the organization that they are tied to. And if you wanted to create a collection with multiple organizations and coalition resources, you can do that as well, which I will go over, which I'll go over in a bit. But everyone individually can have an account, everyone individually can have an account and connect it with their own organization. And then if you want to do something as a coalition, then you can invite colleagues to edit the page that you create. You can invite them to add resources to the page so that you can all collaborate on the resources that you're putting here and that you're sharing out.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Anisha. So she's explaining how to be able to manage different organizations. So that would be a great area for collections. But to make sure that you invite your teammates who work at your organization, just click on your organization page, invite colleagues. And as Anisha mentioned, she'll be going over how to branch out with other organizations, specifically in the My Collection. Okay, so let's move on to the next step, which is the sending out a referral. Are there any more questions before I move on? No? Okay, great. So I'm looking at this resource and I'm going to refer this out to a client. So we make it really easy. We have the referral feature here on the right corner, refer. So if I click on that, I'll be prompted and saying, you doing a new referral to get reentry services for a formerly incarcerated individual. Do I want to refer a prior client that I might have? And these are all test clients. These are not real clients, they're all test clients. Or do I want to create a new client? So let's go through the process of creating a new client. All that's needed to create a new client is their first and last name. Again, it can be, we are HIPAA compliant, so your client's information and your information is secure. But if you'd like to put initials, that's fine as well. That's all that's needed to add a new client. You don't need their email or their cell phone number. It is preferred just to be able to communicate that with them. But if you don't have that, there's another way that you can print out the referral and hand it to them. So I'll be showing you that process. So again, it doesn't have to be their real name. It can be numbers, initials, however you'd like to have it. And here I'm just going to put my client, my test client email just for this presentation. And then an external ID number. And this is a really great tip for organizations to be able to categorize their clients with any specific code that you'd like to refer to within your organization. So again, the external ID is a great way to categorize your clients so that you can remember however you'd like to organize your clients. And then language is the language preference of the client. So if she speaks English or Spanish, the entire referral will be presented to her in English or Spanish, automatically translated. So let's add this new client that I'm referring out. And on the left panel, you'll see that I'm referring Jane Doe. to get free reentry services, and I can keep adding more resources here. I can browse for any other resources that she might have mentioned that she might need, ranging from legal services, in immigration for tax, for visas or any other type of thing there, or even possibly if she needs assistance with tax preparation. So I can keep adding. But for now, I'm just going to keep it here. So I'm going to click done. And now I'm looking at the referral for Jane, and I can write her a specific note and note that might benefit her when she's communicating with Volunteers of America to get this resource. And here's one of the best features that we have as well. You can add a recipient who works at Volunteers of America LA to get this referral. So this just allows the organization who's receiving the referral to be able to know that they're having a client, Jane Doe's, coming in to get this specific resource from them. So they get a notification on that. And the only things that are needed is an email and their first and last name for that individual. So this is just a great way to be able to close the loop. Both you and the organization you're referring to can help Jane Doe complete this process. So I'm going to click submit, and it says, are you sure you want to submit this referral? Yes. And I didn't add a referred agency, so that's why it's just asking this question. I'm going to click yes. And now I'll be able to see the referral for the client. Okay,
so
great.
Someone asked earlier when they submitted their questions how we can use OneDegree to share, for instance, primary care with the assistance of social workers and medical caseworkers. So this is a really significant way that you can do that and keep everyone involved in the success of your client by adding in, if you have relationships with someone at those organizations, by adding in their email and informing them so that they'll be ready and prepared to receive your client and have a bit of background information on them so that they can attend to them in a really custom way.
Yes, thank you, Anisha. So these are different ways that you can deliver the referral to Jane via email. You can add her phone number. You can download it to print. And then this is a great way to send you reminders and notifications to follow up on Jane and her referral if she hasn't completed it. So it's just generating a PDF, and this is what it will look like if you need to print it out and hand it to her. Or if you'd like to keep a copy for yourself, a printout, this is the referral. And again, if Jane had, if she had a Spanish speaker, this entire referral will be in Spanish for her or automatically translated. So if I look at Jane Doe, here are the resources that I've been referring her. These are, and I can update the status. So I can say that Jane has gone and gotten this resource, she hasn't gone yet. The client didn't meet the requirements, so the client rejected it. If Jane has an account herself, she'll get notifications asking her, did you obtain this resource? If she says yes, it'll automatically update. Or if someone at Volunteers of America LA updates the resource, I'll be notified as well. So Jane has all the resources here. We can see the assessments that Jane has done. These are also free and available. Diabetes, depression, a list of other available assessments. And here's a neat, quick tip that was just included. You'll be able to see under contact information under Jane if she does have a OneDegree account, and this will let you know how she's obtaining resources. So she does have an account, and she'll be obtaining them via email. Okay, so another quick tip is another question that was asked is how do you see inbound referrals from other agencies? So how do I know which clients are being referred to me or which resources are being referred. That way you click on your One Degree account or your organization account in your case. And then here you'll be able to see inbound clients, so clients that are being referred to your organization, and inbound referrals, referrals that are being sent from other agencies to your organization. So you'll be able to see inbound clients and inbound referrals. Okay. Are there any questions regarding this section? Here is the folder for clients where I can see all the clients and I can filter them by the date that they were created, by external IDs and languages. So here I just created the Jane Doe test. Are there any questions regarding the referral? I know that this is information that a lot of you wanted to see. So any other questions you might have had?
If there are, feel free to raise your hand or type it in the Q&A. Any questions at all regarding sending these referrals?
No. Okay. If there are no questions, let me show you a quick example of what the My Clients page looks like. So I just logged out of my account for the supporter. Look into the
I see this last one.
Okay. So as a client who has a One Degree account, I'm already logged in with my email, I'll be able to see my plan. So instead of having clients and affiliating myself with an organization, I'll be able to see my plan. So if I click on my plan, I'll be able to see resources that have been referred to me by different organizations. So currently right now I have Get Reentry Services, which is the one that I just you saw me refer. And then here's where I can say, did I obtain this resource, yes or no? I can take my assessment, and I can also see the supporters I have. So this is a way for me to allow people who are referring me to resources. I can allow, as a client, my supporter from organizations to see everything that I'm obtaining, all the opportunities that I'm tracking, only see the updates that my supporter has recommended me specifically, or as a client, I don't want anyone to see the opportunity. So the auto default is allow the supporter to see the resources that they're referring me, but I can change that by saying I want my supporter to see everything that's being referred to me. So instead of just seeing one item, they'll be able to see my whole list of resources that I'm trying to obtain. Okay, so this was the view of the client, and this is just the main difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. Are there any questions regarding the view for the client? No, no questions? All right, if there's no questions, then I will pass it on to Anisha. She'll be sharing her screen so that she can do the bookmarks, collections, resource editing tools, and the One Degree promotional portion of the presentation.
Thank you, Cecilia. So we're about halfway through, and I just want to remind you guys that this is One Degree Live. So if you have any questions, please don't feel shy. If you have any comments at this point, we would love to hear them. Just raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand on the platform, and I can unmute you, and we can share. We'd love to listen to your thoughts about how this is going for you, about how you've been faring with sending these resources to your clients, what the process has been like. So we are open, and we would love to hear your thoughts and comments.
Okay, so we have, Anisha, we have one question. So let me just clarify that. We have, we call clients, and we call people who are making the referrals supporters of those clients. So that's what I mean about the term supporter. So who's making the referrals? So that be it a social worker, a case manager, a nonprofit organization staff member who works with community members. They're the supporters to the clients. And that is the term that I'm using, the supporter. There was a question about that. Okay, and I'm getting a question to restate supporter. So there's the three individuals who are involved in the referral aspect, how One Degree sees it, is the client who's obtaining the resources, the supporter, so the agency that's making the referral. In this example, it was myself from One Degree making a referral to Jane Doe to the reentry resources. So I would call myself the supporter, but again, supporter is anyone who's supporting the client obtain resources. So a case manager, social worker, community development, outreach individuals. So these are the individuals we call supporters. Does that clarify it for everyone?
And this is also another way that you can collaborate with all of the professionals that are helping your client, whether it's social worker or a doctor, etc. So these supporters can be added so that everyone who's invested in the wellness of your client can really work together and see the progress.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I think that was it for the questions.
All right, wonderful. Yeah. Thanks again, Cecilia. Okay, so I'm going to show you all how to save resources using bookmarks. And this is really crucial because I'm sure when you go through and find resources, you may be looking for the similar resources over and over, and you don't want to have to pull them up again. So I just did a quick search for food in San Francisco. We're going to switch it up a bit. Cecilia was in Los Angeles. But again, we're in all 9 counties of the Bay Area and Los Angeles County, so as well as Gainesville, Florida. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as you're searching for resources. So I just did a quick search for food in San Francisco. And so there are lots of options. You already know how to filter and how to find resources, but and how to select opportunities. So once you have this list of opportunities and you want to save them, what you can do is click on this heart icon right on the right-hand side of the opportunity. So you can either do it in this view, clicking on the heart icon, and it will give you an option to save it to your bookmarks, which is a list of your favorite resources. You can do that. It will also give you an option to create a new collection, and that will allow you to essentially collect all of the resources that you find pertinent within a certain category and put them on a collections page. If you've already collected, if you've already created a collection, then when you select the heart icon, it will give you a prompt to ask you what collection name you want to save, what collection you want to save that resource to. So for instance, I had already created a collection named Mom Resources. And if I wanted to add that resource to that collection, I would simply select the heart icon. But I'm going to create a new collection for you guys. I'm going to start a new collection for you guys so you can see how that works. So what you'll do is click on create new collection, and then you can actually give it a title. Let's say, food for students. Indicate what area it's referring to. And then you'll have an opportunity to define an author for it. So it could either be yourself, you can define it as your organization as the author, or you can select other and add a different name. And so especially if you are wanting to work with other organizations and coalitions to create collections, this is something where you might want to add in the coalition name or the group name here. Okay, and then you can indicate who should see this. So your collection can be made public, meaning anyone can see the resources that you collected together, or you can make it specific to your organization, or you can make it private just to you. So we're going to go ahead and create this collection. And keep in mind, you can also really customize this because you can add or change a header photo. So you can add something here to add a header to your collection page. And then you just select Create Collection. And you'll see what started is the name of your collection and the first resource that you've added. So if you'd like to add more to this, you can really search here in this search bar, right on the collections page to find additional resources to add to it. For instance, if you wanted to add this vegetarian dinner, and then scroll down and say you want to add this to your Food for Students collection. And you'll see it shows up here. All right, you can also add new categories. If you want to, say for instance, separate this out between snacks or after school lunch, not after school lunch, but after school dinners. You can create new categories and then add in resources based on that. And that's a way to keep everything organized and keep everything in one place and also categorized so that when yourself and your colleagues are looking for resources, everything is in its place. So now you see you have a category for snacks, and you can create another category for dinner, etc. And all the resources that you've added will show below. One of the really crucial things about creating a collection is you can manage collaborators. So here on the top right-hand side, if you click on Manage Collaborators, you'll see that you can give permission to whoever has been affiliated with your account to add to this collection. So you don't have to feel the burden of feel like you have to add all the resources. You can invite your colleagues, everyone can do a little bit of the work, and you can decide whether they are the owner or whether they are an editor, which means they can add to it as well, or whether they are just a viewer. So you'll see on this first page, the people who are already affiliated with your account will have the opportunity to access it. Yet you can also invite collaborators. So for the question about managing coalitions, if you have an email of someone who works at a different organization, what you would do is go here and select Invite Collaborators and then add their information here. Right, and then you send that invitation, and then you yourself, your organization, and any number of organizations can collaborate on a collection, whether you're in a coalition or whether you are teaming up to do one specific thing. You can really use this platform to share resources in one place, and all of you will be affiliated with it.
Yeah. So we have a question, Anisha, and I can answer that. So we're being asked if the collaborators can have different handles, so Gmails, Verizon, Comcast, and yes, they can have different handles. So if they work at a different organization, at a nonprofit A, at government agency B, yeah, they can have different handles and you can invite them. There's no limit regarding that.
No.
I also see a
Okay.
question about what is the best way to make the One Degree community aware of an event your agency is hosting. If it's an ongoing event, then what you do is add it to your organization's page so that when people are searching, they can find it. If it's not an ongoing event, then you can simply email us. You can email me at, since I'm the marketing manager, I'm going to add my email here at enisha@onedegree.org or at info@onedegree.org. If you're interested in us participating in an event or you want to promote an event that your agency is hosting. Okay, so any questions about any questions about collections? Okay, and so the way you would send this.
Oh, we have one question. Yeah, we have one question. So if you're in a collection, can you filter through it or option to sort alphabetically? So when you do, I know that you can search within your collection for resources to add. And if you'd like to, they are sorted, I believe, alphabetically, and you can always add like a numerical number in front of the collection or the category just to help you maintain them. Anisha, is there anything else I'm missing regarding that, or?
So yes, using the same search, what you can do that I showed before, you can use this search to find additional resources to add to the collection. You can also use that search to filter the resources that are already in it. So if, for instance, if I'm looking for snacks and select search, it will first pull up the resource about snacks that I already added to the collection. Okay,
yeah.
And then underneath that will show additional resources related to snacks.
Estoy viendo un webinar.
So you can use this search feature to search within the collection, and that will be the top part. You see the 2 opportunities found in this collection, and then underneath that will be the broader resource, the broader resources that you can add.
Y cómo utilizar y cómo buscar apoyo de otras.
Okay, and I have a question. Is there a way in which you can sort clients by the ones that have been by the resources that have been used or rejected or did not meet the requirement, and the ones that need to be updated or need follow-up?
Son las 11:51. 12, 15. I know.
So you will receive an update to review. You will receive an update to review the clients that need follow-up.
Sí, la Cristina dice que
Can everyone mute?
no se quiere hacerlo más temprano, porque ella se va
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe someone. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I believe there was someone who was not unmuted. Okay, great.
Okay. So you'll receive an update or an email notification for when you need to follow up with the client or when something that needs to be updated. Cecilia, is there a different way that would sort those clients that have not met the requirement versus those that need to be followed up with besides email?
Yeah, so when you look at under, if you want to look under your, let me see, under your clients, you can see when was the last date that the client was created. You can filter by the client name, the external ID number, and the language. Those are the ones that you're able to filter at the moment. For the paid features is where you can filter clients differently.
Okay, thank you, Cecilia. Well, we got the questions rolling in. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your questions. We appreciate that. So I'm going to quickly go over how to use our resource editing tool because that's something that is really crucial to us developing this platform and really adding the number of resources that we have on there. You all as professionals, I'm sure often hear about new resources. I often hear about new resources or changes in organizations where maybe it's a time change for the hours of operation or eligibility change, and we really strive to make sure One Degree has the most up-to-date information. So what you can do is add resources on the One Degree site. So everyone has the opportunity to contribute to it. It's open source. And what you would do is go to onedegree.org/organizations. And you'll have the opportunity to add in a new organization. So if you are already connected to an organization, this page will allow you to edit it. That means you can update the resources that are available, the times of operation, etc. Review the notes and reviews. And if you're looking to add a resource that's not here already, then you would select if you're looking to add a resource that, I apologize about the technical difficulty here. If you're looking to add a resource that is not there already, then what you do is scroll down and select add an organization you don't work for. This will allow you to add a brand new organization, their website, description, where they are, who they serve, etc. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can do this, your client, you can do this, and your colleagues can do this as well. If there's something even on your resource finder that you don't see on the One Degree website and you like for it to show up there so that you can add it to your page or add it to your collection or share it with your client digitally, this is the way you can do that. And remember, you can also, when you invite your team to become collaborators, they can also add this here. So you can add the opportunity, you can suggest edits. One of the things that's really cool is that if you find a resource, that doesn't look correct, or you think that the times have changed or all of the information is not accurate, then what you can do is select suggest edit on any opportunity page. And this will allow us to be notified that not everything is correct on the page and that we need to go back and verify it. So you don't even have to know what, you don't even have to have the correct information. You just have to know that it's not correct, okay? So you can let us know that it's incorrect and we'll make, and just let us know it's wrong so we can review it. Or if you have the information that's correct, just let us know yes, and I'll make edits directly. So because then you have the power and you're empowered to go and update that organization's page and that opportunity. And then we'll have our verification team that go back and review to make sure everything is solid before we publish it. So this is really a way for us to collaborate and work together and have that consistent communication feedback loop. So if you see something that is outdated, or if you see something, even though we try our best to stay on top of it and have our resource team reviewing constantly to update this information, if you see something that needs updated, just let us know and we'll get it corrected as soon as possible. So we appreciate your collaboration on that. Okay. And I had some more questions about how the information is vetted. So again, we have our resource team, the volunteer resource team that reviews our inputs, our inputs for organizations constantly, and also the organizations that are already there to make sure the content is new and updated. And as Cecilia shared with you before, you can simply scroll over the verified section on any resource, and it will tell you the last time it has been checked. Everyone see that? Cecilia?
Yeah, that's the one. And, thank you for going over the suggest edit. That's always a great way just to let us know if a resource needs to be updated, if the phone number is incorrect, if it's no longer being provided. It's just a quick, easy way to suggest the edit. Let us know something's off. We'll investigate. Takes us 1 to 3 business days, and then we'll make sure to update that and let you know when it's been updated. So it's just a great way, and as Anisha mentioned, it's a great way to be empowered. We do have an attendant, Guadalupe Enriquez, who has raised her hand.
Do you want to?
Hi, Guadalupe. How can we?
Oh,
what's your question?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a flyer that we are promoting, especially with the government and the EBT clients that are not getting their food stamps. So if we wanted to promote the flyer in this website, and we're in Los Angeles here in Koreatown, how would I do that again? Like if we wanted to promote a flyer to let people know, or if anybody's searching, that we are giving a free bag of food.
Thank you. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to post a flyer here, but what you could do is add that opportunity to your organization's page. So then when people are searching for resources similar, then your organization will come up and they can find it that way. And then you can add in the next step to contact you or to access that resource.
Yeah, and then in the next step, you'll also be able to, if it's a PDF or a link on your site with like more information, that they can click on that link that directs them to like a PDF of the information of your opportunity or event. So that's another way to add it into the what to do next.
Hi, I just want to jump in real quick. This is Emma. I'm the community manager at One Degree. If you have a file and you don't have a link to a PDF and you only have a file, say a Word document or a PDF file, you can email help@onedegree.org and we can add that to an opportunity for you on our back end.
Right. Thank you, Emma. And we have another question. Stevenson, a raised hand.
Thank you, Shanice. You're unmuted. If you have a mic, you can share, or if not, you can simply type your question.
Hi, this is Shanice. I'm actually going to have to go, but I was thinking, like listening to what people said about events. I would love to have an events field where people, because we use One Degree and we want to refer our families to there. And so it'd be nice to have an events feed, similar to what Facebook has, where you can just put events that the owner doesn't have to always go through you all, so that we can make sure families know about that. But that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Shanice. Okay, guys, and I know we're coming up on time. If you could just bear with us for 5 more minutes, because we want to show you some really important ways you can share One Degree with your clients and empower them. So as a professional One Degree user, you have access to free materials, and I want to show you that here. So you can just go to we have a store, our store, where you can order free flyers, free posters, free stickers, magnets, cards, that you can share with your clients. So we really want to give you the opportunity to empower your clients. You can put these in your waiting room. You can order them, put these in your waiting room. You can pass them out. There are a multitude of ways you can get these in the hands of your clients so that they can begin to search for themselves and find these life-improving resources because they can go online, they can text, or they can download our free app. So want to share this with you so that you have that in mind. We'll also send out the link later so that you can go on and order these free materials. Really encourage you, again, it's totally free for you and it's really supportive of your client so that it empowers them to get the resources that they need. In addition to that, what we'd like to share is we have some beautiful badges that you all have access to. So if you want to share more resources with your clients and share and collaborate with other organizations, what you can do is click on Get a Badge on our homepage. And here are a multitude of badge options that you can simply cut and paste the code and add it to your website. That way, whoever comes to your website will see that you are affiliated with 1 Degree. They'll see that your organization is on 1 Degree, and they'll also be able to review other resources that you're essentially sharing with them by sharing 1 Degree. You're giving them access to the 20,000 additional resources that are on our site. Okay, so those are the ways that you can promote as you're promoting your events, as you're promoting your opportunities with us. You can also get the badge and get those materials out so that we can help you promote, because we're doing our own marketing initiatives. And so when you're on our site, you're part of our coalition, a part of our team. And when we market for 1 Degree, we're essentially marketing for you. So make sure you order those materials. If you have any questions about the badge, we're happy to help you get that up so that we can continue collaborating. And then the last thing, Cecilia is going to show you or share about more how we can collaborate, because this is a form of collaboration, but we can go a bit deeper. Our vision is to be able to work with each of you and partner with each of you so that we can, one, promote your events, that we can make sure your opportunities are featured prominently on our site, and we can partner with you to reach the most amount of people that we can. Cecilia?
Yeah, so just to quickly go over this, we have different ways of collaboration. You know, we want to be able to help different communities and support your organizations as they engage with community members. So we have a participation agreement, and the participation agreement is a way to support our establishments to build a stronger partnership between organizations where we both agree to join our efforts to support low-income families, find and access and utilize these community resources on the 1 Degree platform. So one of the features that, one of the tools that we allow once a participation agreement has been discussed and signed with us is the community pages. So this is a community page created by specifically for criminal law and reentry resources. So how you find that is by clicking on the 1 Degree page, look under the left tab, Browse Resources, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see community pages. So we have for criminal law and reentry, LGBTQ+, and reproductive health. So let's just click one. And these are, it's a great entryway for individuals for a particular audience. So you'll be able to see featured opportunities here, featured organizations, key resources, and featured collections specifically geared towards this population group. So a community landing page is really a curation of expertise of these resources. So this is one of the other tools and benefits of using 1 Degree. And we also have our partnerships that we develop with organizations to help us reach more individuals. And we mutually agree to be able to provide you with training, to provide you with more hands-on support, be it training with a computer lab, making sure that everyone knows how to follow, create their accounts, how to create referrals, how to create collections. So it's more customized to your needs. And let me just share that real quick. This is the participation agreement. So both of our organizations would mutually agree to accomplish certain tasks. We ask that a participation agreement adds the 1 Degree link, or if they want to add a badge or host the in-person or live video training for staff members. And this information can be followed up in an email after this training. And then 1 Degree, mutually agrees to do certain items as well. So again, the 1 Degree participation agreement is just a way for us to make sure our collaboration has some guidelines and just to help each other make sure that community members know about our resources that they can obtain in that are free or low cost to them. Okay, so again, these are just additional incentives that we provide. Let me show you real quick. This page, different ways that organizations have collaborated with us. Antelope Valley Health Neighborhoods, they've added a badge to their site. Newsletters have us included. This is the Highland Park Neighborhood Council. They have us included in their weekly newsletter. And then this is another feature called Direct Access. This is an organization in San Francisco. Direct Access allows individuals to access a resource directly from an organization. So they'll be connected directly to the organization to get this resource. So those are just different ways that we can build a relationship with each other. Okay, Anisha?
Thanks, Cecilia. Well, we want to really thank you guys for joining us today and answering all of your questions. I see there are still a few questions. I'm going to stay on the chat for a little bit because there are still a few questions that people have that I'm happy to answer. But what I would do is we're going to send you after this the copy of this webinar. We're also going to send you a link to our e-guide so that you can refresh if there's anything that you needed specific help on in terms of navigating the features. And in addition to that, please email us. Email us to collaborate. We want to work with you. We want to promote your events. We want to promote the opportunities that you have. And as we work together, we can reach really a lot more people in the community. So thanks for joining us today. And look out for our email. It will also have a survey in it, so you can let us know how this webinar was useful to you. And we will see you next month. We have committed to engaging monthly with our pro members. We want to answer all of your questions, see how everything is going for you, and really you help us update our platform and modify it based on what your needs are, because we want to make your experience smooth and easy. So please don't be a stranger. You can email us at help@onedegree.org, or you can email me directly at anisha@onedegree.org. I've added that to the chat, as well as I'll add that to the chat, as well as Cecilia at onedegree.org.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll stay on too for any other questions. We're having a few more. So there was a question on who creates the community pages, and that would be the organization themselves. So an organization who is interested, this one was the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services, who wanted to create these community landing pages. So they're the ones who created it. Again, it can be one organization, it can be a team of organizations, and the landing pages will be different for each county. So I'm looking right now in the county of LA. So that's why I have these 3 community landing pages specifically for LA. San Francisco has their own separate ones, and these community pages, again, can be created by a solo organization or a coalition of organizations who want to focus on a specific need. So those are the different ways. Okay. Hope I answered that one. Okay, thank you.
We also had a question about finding specific intervention therapies for homeless individuals who may have experienced trauma. So what you can do there is specifically type in therapy or sexual therapy in our search feature. And if you filtered earlier, you can just X out of that filter, just clear the filter so that will pull up all of the resources that are available. And so you'll see here's one that stands out. Get sexual assault and domestic violence services for women, get individual therapy, talk to a sexual health counselor. All right, so I would, even though you can search by category, but I would also encourage you to, so Cecilia's showing you how you can browse resources using the category on the top right, left-hand side. So there's an entire category for sexual health, and you can review that to find resources pertinent to your client.
Okay, is there any other question that we might have missed?
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you next month. Look out for our follow-up email, and send us a note if you have any additional questions or if we can help you any further.
Thank you, everyone.